Yes, indeedy. What is Sven covering today? Well, we're going to be doing some Starfinder action, making sure my sound is working. Very, very cool. All right, so we have some Starfinder stuff going on. We have two different campaigns that I run in Starfinder every other Sunday night. If you want to come and check it out, please do. So I also have some new toys in the chat. So there's my schedule. You can also come back here anytime I'm not streaming. It might even be on there right now. I don't know. Uh, let's check. Let's check and see, so I can speak intelligently, or at least it is. So if we just look down below, you can see the my schedule there. But if you're too lazy to scroll down, or if you're on your phone, then there you go. There's my sketch, the sketch. So as you can see, Sunday nights at 17:30, Starfinder Live Play. So this week we're doing our Dawn of Flame campaign. So the Dawn of Flame, so there, the Dawn of Flame is a adventure path set in and around the sun of the Pact Worlds. There is a civilization, cities that they're within the sun, and it all started at the Far Portal, which is a gate that's out just outside, basically on the surface of the sun, that leads to the plane of fire. And so there's a Far Portal station, which is a space station that was set up to study the Far Portal, because nobody really knows much about the Far Portal. No one knows who built it. Uh, People who have gone through it have not come back out until recently. All of a sudden, this ship, and a few moments later, a fire whale from the plane of fire that was augmented with these mechanical boosts came out of the Far Portal. And it has never happened in known history. And so everybody was freaking out. The whale was attacking the ship, so our heroes came, rescued, killed the whale, which once it reached a certain amount of damage, self-destructed. And then they explored the ship and brought the ship back to Far Portal Station. Now, the ship's called the Breath of Embers. And so there it is. So what is supposed to happen in the storyline is that once they bring the ship back to the Far Portal Station, the Far Portal is then supposed to fall into the sun. Well, my setup for this was that all the heroes are part of a company called Midnight Corps. Midnight Corps is basically a catch-all company for anything you don't want to do. Contact Midnight Corps, and for a price, they will do it. Everything from security guards to house cleaning to food delivery to uh, assassinations. If you don't want to do it, contact Midnight Corps. There is a price for whatever it is you want done. Um, and so obviously that takes a lot of people, a lot of manpower. This group has been around for more than close to 300 years. And so each of the characters within the group, the party, joined up with the Midnight Corps from different planets, different locations. Ended up, they were all taken to Absalom Station. And then from there, uh, they all took their individual testing. So like the ASVAB for the military, took their individual testing, and then the computer said, okay, this put this group together. They brought them to Absalom Station, gave them a chip, and now that's the crew of the Midnight Corps 7. All right. Yeah, my sound seems like it's peaking okay. Turn it up just a smidge. And last time, if you guys were watching the show, I made a group picture of them. Here we go. Boom. And there they are in all their glory. Um, this is accurate in size, obviously, except for the dock. So you have this big, large, giant bug creature, and then you have the smaller, our smallest 3-foot halfling, 7-foot Marikoi, 6-foot Vesk, and Broken Mind Mold Love, Broken Mold Live. Boy, if I can speak. Howdy, howdy. I do not mind at all. Feel free. I know Starfinder is not your cup o' tea. However, as far as the functionality of Fantasy Grounds, a lot of what I do here is very similar. So setting up storylines, today we're going to be bringing in a picture and setting a. They're supposed to be going to a city, a little town, and so I'm going to be trying to build that up a little bit so I can show them a picture and maybe a map and stuff. So, anywho, that's all the same. The mechanics of Fantasy Grounds is similar throughout the different games. So I know you're working, but if you have questions, feel free to ask. And see. So how did you come up with broken mold? I'd be very curious to find out where that name is from. Okay, so the only thing I can think of as far as broken mold goes is that the old saying is after they made you, they broke the mold because they want you to be one of a kind. So maybe it's saying that you're the one who inspired that saying. That would be my guess, but I don't know. We'll find out. Hopefully, he will check in with us and answer that ever burning question. All right, so they are now, so being part of Midnight Core 7, their job was to bring scientists to the station. They did that, and as they came, delivered the scientists to the Safari Portal station, that's when the ship and the whale came out, and so they just kicked into hero mode, jumped on their ship, brought the ship back. Midnight Core, while they were on the other ship, was like, "Hey, here's your next job, Mink," because they didn't know what was going on in real time. And so when they were finished, they were like, "Hey, make sure you get permission next time so we can properly charge them." It's not like they're prisoners, but it's like, "Hey, all right, so we have our answer. So let's see. He says it's close to that, as in people who break the mold or are different. Also, an obscure Pokemon, the mold Pokemon, who I enjoy pretending is broken. Nice, or overpowered. Double meaning. Very cool. All right, I was just curious. All right, so thank you for taking the time to respond. I appreciate it. So they got their thing saying, "Hey, this is your next job," um, and then now they're taking off. So couple different things that I want to do. First of all, and by the way, they are now in the middle of getting ready to fight this thing, which is flying through space and is about the size, about half the size of our moon. It's a pretty large creature. Maybe not that big. Maybe it's only about a couple hundred feet across, but this thing is flying toward them through space and is going to attack. And um, it can hurl debris and slam into it, are the attacks that it has. They are called Telelith, Teleliath. Teleliath. What is this link to? Oh, that's the picture. Okay. Living asteroids. All right. This one is in a drift. Here we go. Can use a slam only against a target in an adjacent hex. But then it has a Ripper special property, so I'll have to find out what that does. It hurls debris, stuff like that. Very cool. All right, so let's go to our interwebs. Do a little inception here. There we go. Boom. Ripper special property. And we will cross our fingers and see if this works. Here it is. Half damage dealt by Ripper weapons, 2 shields. Gotcha. Okay, so we're going to copy it. And then we're going to slap that definition into the read only. Okay, so you could make a copy of this beast or creature and then do that, but instead I'm just going to put this right here in my story. And this is for the slam. The slam attack has Ripper quality. Ripper property, I mean. Boom. I really don't care about all that. We're just going to say half all damage dealt by Ripper weapons shield. Okay, so they were told to go to midnight. So I have a image here. This is an actual image of Mars, by the way. This is another image of Mars itself, where they're going to be involved with their attack, and there's a fire going on here. I went on Google, found images of Mars, because Akaton, if you want to look at the thing, sort of looks like a red planet. So, all right, so here's our image of where midnight is. Let's do another search real quick. Now, I don't want to spend a lot of time because this is a rabbit hole that you can go down and spend hours. And I have spent like 45 minutes looking for a picture that the players look at once for maybe a minute and then never look at again. So it's not really conducive. But all right, so let's say Martian City. Just start there and see what kind of images we get from this. I'm not really looking for anything in particular. I do want it to be a smaller type city. And I could use something like this, something like this, like this. So it's really just whatever floats my boat. This is not a huge, like I said, it's not a big city, not something like this or like this. I'm just looking for something that's relatively small. Um, so we're going to be taking a look. I like that one from the inside. Now these are okay. Just taking a look to see, just give them a little setting. Is this necessary? Absolutely not. Um, this one is actually pretty close to what I'm looking for because the concept is they're going to a convoy. Um, hashtag just DM things. That's right. um, so they're looking for, they're going to be the picture you saw of the little train was a convoy of goods being brought from an excavation site, mine, if you will, and brought back. So this is actually pretty close to, it gives you the idea that they're using resources. It's like a factory of some kind. So let's go with this one. This is a really big though. So this one is 2048 by 975. We really don't need it that high def. Construction Week Online. It doesn't say where this is from. That's fine. Well, let's see. This one looks like it's a little smaller. 966 by 644. There we go. All right, so we'll click on it. You could just grab it from where you were, where it was, but I'd rather go ahead and just to get it from the original. Boom. Save image as. Uh-oh, what just happened? There we go. All right, so we're going to say this is midnight. Now I'm going to go ahead and put it in the campaign I'm in. You have it depends on, you can put it anywhere you want to. You just have to make sure you remember where it is in your computer. So in this case, I have my Fantasy Grounds. Now I'm going to campaigns. This one is called Sven Zone. And then I go into images and midnight to JPEG, save. All right, so we're going to just go ahead and minimize this for now. And now open up your assets. And what you want to do is anytime you add pictures and things, you want to click on here where it says refresh folder assets. In your chat, it'll say folder assets refreshed. Now I just go to campaign, boom, and there she is. Open it up, create image record, close. All right, so now I can tweak this if I want to. We're going to zoom in a bit. That might have been a little too small, but hey, you can always zoom in. There's nothing here that I'm really want to change. You can change the color, you could do the effects, you could do, add tokens or whatever to these images. In this case, I like it. It's good. We're going to keep it. This is called Midnight, so I don't need to change it for the characters to see. And so we're going to go ahead, we'll lock this up. And now what you want to do is you want to link it within your story. So here's my story. They're arriving at midnight. So this is the overall planet, and then this is going to be when they actually land. So let's see. Let's go to grab here, grab the little piezo symbol up here, and you drop it. I'm actually going to JL Gaming TV. Have a blessed stream, bro. Thank you so much. I appreciate you stopping by, saying hi. I really do. If this is something you're interested in, check it out later on the YouTubes. I also do Dungeons and Dragons, um, and you can check out the schedule down below. I also do a little bit of live play of both Starfinder, D&D, and Little Magic the Gathering will be done tomorrow, maybe even later today as well. Magic the Gathering Arena, that is. All right. So what I'm going to do is I want to add another line here. Boom, there we go. Give myself a little bit of breathing room. So anytime you have a link, whether it's an image or an NPC or an encounter, parcel, any link, if you hit enter on that line, it adds another link. So that's fine. You can just drag it right over. Boof. Or if you don't want that there for some reason, you can then hit Control 1 and it'll make it regular text. Control 2 makes it like this, the bold heading. Control 3 makes it a speech bubble that can be put into your chat. So you can also right click on it and then tell it what to do. Paragraph type. All right, so we have our picture. Last thing I want to do is I want to indicate on here where this is. Um, so what we're going to do then is let's find a space dome because I don't have any space dome. Let's just see what I specifically want is a virtual tabletop space dome token. I don't think they exist. But let's see. Who knows? Okay, so we'll click on map, see what that says. Okay, so this is just space maps, virtual tabletop maps. Don't want those. This is close. This is close. I may just grab this and use this because I don't know that I'm going to have a whole lot of choice. All right, so let's start with this. Take it. We're going to save image as. Now in this case, I'm just going to throw it into my pictures. I have pictures and then I have Starfinder. So I'm just throwing it in my Starfinder folder because I'm going to mess with it first. Domes, save. And you say, Sven, what do you mean by mess with it? Well, I use Pixlr, Pixlr.com. It is for free, and there's two versions of it. There's a really dumbed down version, Pixlr X, for as it says, X for Express, or there's one I use, which is Pixlr E, which is editor. It's basically free Photoshop. It's really well done, uh, and I like it. I like it a lot. So we're going to open up this dome image, and what I want to do is I'm going to pull them apart. I'm going to get rid of the stuff around them and make them a ping. Ping. So I just had to find it first. It's under Pictures, Starfinder. Like I said, just make sure you remember where you save your pictures. That's the biggest challenge of these. All right, so there we go. We have our things. So what we do is we go to our wand select, and then you click, and then delete. Boom, and all the extra or crap around the domes are gone. And then I go to, I mean, there's some scattered dirt, but I don't really care about that. That's fine. And because I'm that guy, I'll just go ahead and crop it just a bit. I want to be careful not to crop this off. There's a little red mark, so I can't crop much that way. But I can crop out the top dirt, this side dirt, again, careful not to take out the red, and some of the bottom dirt. There you go. Apply, boom. And just like that, we're done. If I really wanted to be anal, I could go through and use the, like here's the eraser and say goodbye, get rid of this dirt. But we're good. Zoom in, get all this, every little speck of dirt and stuff. We're good. I like it. We're happy. File. Again, spending an hour messing with a picture that's going to be looked at for a couple minutes isn't that big isn't conducive to life. Save. Don't get me wrong. Ping. Especially when I first trying to figure out what I was doing with these software and stuff. Absolutely take the time to do that, because it's going to help you in situations like this where I can do it in 3 minutes. Boom, it's now what I want, because I've taken all this time before to learn how to use the programs and stuff. All right, so now we're going back to campaigns. So now in this case, I'm going to go to, this is my main fantasy grounds. I'm going into all of my tokens, and I'm going to put these domes as a ping here in my tokens, so I'll have access to them anytime, anywhere. So you have the pop-ups because it's free. All right, so now we minimize that. So once again, you want to make sure when you open up your assets, you refresh. Folder assets refreshed. So now when I go to my tokens, we go to our data. There they are. All right, so now we're going to take up, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put these domes here, and then we're going to put some lines, some of those rail lines coming in and going out to all over the planet. All right, so let's see. I'm thinking right here at the base of the cliff would be a wise life choice. If you put it on top, you're subject to the weather. Down below, it gives you protection from a lot of the weather. If you put it on the bottom, it's easier to attack, so it's easier to defend if it's a little higher. Yeah, you can be attacked from the top, but I think sort of putting it in between the two extremes is the way to go. I'm going to have the tracks coming down below, and then there's an underground unloading facility and working facility, which then by elevator brings everything up as needed and out as needed. All right, so let's go ahead and grab our domes. We're going to zoom in. We're going to take our click. All right, we're going to go to our play. Close it. So for what we're doing right now, we don't need tokens. So we're tokens, we're just throwing them on the map. And then I'm going to adjust them here in just a second. I could put this as an asset as well. Let's see, do I want to do that instead? So this works. I've got tokens, I can change the size of them, move them around, stuff like that. The other thing you can do is go here to layers. We can slap this in here, and that will allow us to change. So here we've got the size, we've got it on stamp. So that's a smidge big. We want it to be, let's say 2. I'm going to keep the aspect lock. There we go. So we want it to be 0.8. 0.8. There we go. Aspect lock. All right, there we go. So now we have our things. And the difference is with the tokens, you can't change the color. You can't stack them. You can't manipulate the image itself. The token is just the token. All you can do is turn it, change the size of it. By doing it this way, I can now go into here, for example, and now I've got red ones. And then I go into this down here, select the one that's already there. Hold on. There we go. Layer selection. Now I select this one, go here, and let's make some pink ones. A little too pink. There we go. And then we can go into these domes. Okay, okay. Go into this color. Let's go with like some greenish. We can turn down the opacity if we wanted to. A little too bright. There we go. So now if you hold control, I can then freely move it anywhere I want. I can turn it. So we're going to shrink the green ones. Put them up against the wall. Pink one's going to go over here. Orange ones we're going to shrink down as well. You can use control just to make it smaller. You can change the number right here to make it smaller as well. Lots of different ways of doing it. With this pink ones, I'm going to squish them a little bit just to change the shape. All right, so now we go back to play mode and we can now adjust our tokens. That's the other thing, is if the characters or anybody touches them, it highlights it like this. You can also hold control and freely move them about the cabin. All right, so there's our city. I want to add a couple more, like one more larger one. So let's go to this one. Go back to our layers and select which one is which, like the orange ones right here, and we're going to duplicate. And here's our copy. We select it, remove it. I want it sort of right in the middle here. Hold down Shift. Come on. There we go. Trying to turn it like so. We're going to move it here, and we're going to make it a little bit bigger. Take and slide this one over. And the bigger one, we're going to change, copy, change the color. Let's go with more of a, there we go. All right, so we have our city now on our planet. Oops. So we have our city on our planet. There we go. So now all I want to do is add in the train lines leading up here. We're going to build a cave or an entrance to where the go to all. We go to cave. Now the problem with cave is that it's also going to do cavern, but that's almost exactly what I want, but it would look weird going straight down. So let's see what other choices we have. All right, so what you can do then is you can go to like, let's go to cliff. All right, so I have an idea. Let's see if this will work. Take this, we'll throw this, we'll go here to paint. We're going to add a paint layer. Throw this in here. And now we're going to zoom in. And what we're going to try to do here is make it like a cave mouth. So let's see how this looks, shall we? All right, so now it's a deliberate cave mouth here. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy it back to our layers. So now I've got the painting layer selected. I'm now going to duplicate it, take the copy. We're going to zoom in a little bit. I don't know why I'm working with such a tiny canvas. Let's build this up a little bit. All right, so I've got my copy here. I'm going to take it and slide it just a smidge. I've got my layer selected. Hold down Control. I'm going to shift it just a tiny bit like that. I'm going to put the copy underneath, and then I'm going to change the color to basically black. Boom. So now I've got this shadow already built in. And I can tweak it if I want to. There you go. See, boom, I've got the shadow built in. That matches exactly what's going on there. And now I'm going to go to see if we can do the same thing with the floor for this one. So let's see. We're going to go to paint. We're going to add him. I don't know if this will work, but we're going to find out. So this one is actually, I'm going to name it. If we double click on it, this is arch, shade. This one is arch. So now I know what's what. I'm going to add a painting layer. And this is going to be our floor if I can get it to do what I want it to do. So it's a little big. So we're going to change it to 0.5. There we go. I'm going to click it once. Okay, no, we won't. Never mind. So we want the darker to be inside. So let's see if this works the way I want it to. Control C. Okay, so we rotate it and one more click. Okay, so you're like, well, why do you want that? That looks all weird. It does, but okay. So we then put this sucker. This is going to be the floor. We put this below everybody else. So it looks like it's been leveled. And now we just throw in some shade, baby. Some shade. So let's go to our, we go up. I know the art pack from 2019, right here. I believe it's effects. Nope. Brushes. One of them has shadow. Oops, I clicked the wrong button. 2019, just looking for some shadow so we can throw it in there as a decoration. And if this doesn't work, I'll just type in shadow. So we'll get there one way or t'other. Dirt. Rocks. Nope, but I'm just going to use this one anyway. Actually, let's go to shadow. There we go. That's what I was looking for. It is under decorations. I guess I just didn't go far enough. All right. So we throw this in here. Now we can change the opacity. You can see it's making a shadow already. We can change the opacity if we wanted to. We're going to shrink it down by holding control. Boom. But I like the opacity right here because you'll see what we're going to do then is we're just going to we add another paint layer. Which one is this? All right, so here's our paint layer. We're going to call it Shad. This is the cave shade, baby. All right, so now you just sit there and click. Maybe. What am I doing? Oh, that's the line. That's why. So I want here, stamp. So I'm just adding shade. And then I go back and put it deep, darker. And then not as dark up here. And then what we do is we throw it underneath. And when you zoom out, boom, you now have your entrance to where all the trains and all the tracks lead underneath our city. All right. One last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to make a new folder. This is going to be city. We're going to take all the domes, throw them into this folder, and then we click on the folder itself. We make a copy. We go to our layers, and what we do is we take this and we go, this is our copy. Hold down Control, and we're shifting it just a tiny, tiny bit, like this. Like that, and then we go to our color, and we go black, and we go down on the opacity. Okay, and then we throw you underneath the city, and now we have shadow. So our tokens don't have shadows because they're tokens. There's another reason painting is a little bit easier. But hey, I'm not going to worry about it. We're good to go. So here's our cave entrance. It's actually turned out pretty well. I'm wasn't sure how using the circles would work. Anyway, so now we just need to build in our tracks, and we're done. So that is a mine cart. It's a mine. I believe it's under mine. Let's see. Let's go. First, we're going to go all the way up. Now we're going to go to mine. There are cart rails. There we go. There we go. Mine tracks. So what you do is you go to paint. You go plus painting layer. We take our, this is the end. So this is the regular track. Boom, throw this in here. And then first thing we do is we go here to color. We're going to make it pretty much black and white or black. Boom. Okay. And now we're going to make a much, 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 much smaller 0. Let's go with 2. There we go. Perfect. Move our map over a little bit so we can see what we're doing. We've got our drawing tool and our line, paint. Boom. All right, so let's do this. So we're going to start here. And we draw out. There we go. So this one is heading to the north. It will branch off. Actually, we're just going to let me establish my first few first, and then we can worry about branching them off. Okay, he's going to head south. Definitely going to have branches. I'll make sure we don't hit the big hole. Probably could have made that curve a little wider, but that's all right. One more just for fun. Oops, that was a little weird. So again, is any of this absolutely necessary for the story? No. This isn't even going to be a combat map. But so now we lock it. So it just brings it a little bit more to life. So they've got this city that they're on. They've got these rails leading out, sets the stage. Um, so I already have that one. Where is my other? Is this the one I wanted? Yes, so this is the inside. I'm going to say midnight interior. And I like this because it fits my story, fits like the dome. You can see the dome type feel to it. So now I even have an encounter built. If I want to add, I'm going to add this image to Linkus to here. I'm actually going to make this shareable. So if you right click on it, it says make link shareable. So the players can now click on this and see that picture. And I'm actually going to throw this onto the big one. Boom, there we go. I am going to take this token, by the way, shrink it down just a bit, break up the monotony a little bit as well. Boom. There we go. And I'm going to move this pin away because it's getting rid of in the middle of my picture, man. Zoom in. There we go. All right, so there we go. I'm fairly pleased with that. I like how the cave turned out. It turned out pretty well. And so if you want to, so you can see if we go to turn this off. That's what it started with. And that's what we ended up with. So it turned out well. And now I have this map, so I can use it for other things as well. So we've got our three things here. I don't know if I'm going to have any kind of encounter here or not. For now, I'm just going to leave it. So then what happens is they come out here. Here's the tracks. These were just plain line tracks that I used instead of the actual railroad tracks. And we got an explosion that broke the line. All right, so there were two different things I was thinking about doing. Because this is Midnight Core, whoever pays gets the people. So they could be being paid by the people who are bringing this in, or they could be told, go retrieve this stuff, and as they from a crashed site, and when they get there, they realized somebody just caused this crash. And in essence, they are the ones who are actually taking this, stealing the stuff. Um, so either way, in either sense, I was then going to have a replacement crew show up um, as soon as the fight was over, as they were loading the stuff into their other transports. Um, and all right, so I think what I'm going to do is have them yeah, we'll have a whole another crew. All right, so here's the story of a man named Brady. They get here. Let's pick a race. Formian is a good one. They are scary looking insect people. They resemble giant ants with humanoid upper bodies. That's a good way of putting it. So let's go ahead and pull out a picture. All right, so our Formian soldier is, let's see, what's the difference between a worker and a soldier? Okay. All right, so the worker is going to be the point of contact. So again, we're going to open this up. Oh, this is read only. Okay, that's fine. All right, so you walk into a large open office. Just to the right of the door is a large desk. Rising out of the back of the desk is a robot with two, as a robot torso with two arms. So now that we've New to Passport. Hello, welcome. Don't believe I've seen you here before. Welcome. We're doing a little bit of Starfinder prep for our game. If you have any questions, let me know. We're using Fantasy Grounds Unity. So if you hit Control 3, Control 1 is what it is now. Control 2 makes it the heading. Control 3 is something, and then what you do is you just click here, closing all my windows. If you click on the speech bubble, it then pops it into as a story entry in the chat. Atomic Hero Squad. Howdy, 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 sir. Welcome, welcome. So our party's going to be talking to this Formian guy. He's their point of contact. Toward the rear of the office, there is a taller, larger desk made for the Formian behind it. Who appears to be deep in conversation with on his deep in conversation. A holoscreen in front of him shows the face, shows 3 faces. In some sort of video conference. All right, so this will give them an idea of what's happening as they walk in here. Now the robot's going to speak to them. So I put quotes around it and I say, welcome to Midnight Core. Hackathon branch. How may I assist you? And so now what you do is I put it at, first of all, I start with Control 3, which puts it as a story entry. And then you right click again and do assign speaker. So now it puts it above it and it's saying robot. So I just talked about the robot before, so I don't really need any more adjectives beyond that. So what happens is they'll get this. You walk into a large office. There's a robot torso with 2 arms. They see there's a large formian in the back. When you click this one now, it's totally different. It says robot, quote, and a little speech bubble, an actual speech bubble. Welcome to Midnight Core, Acton Branch. How may I assist you? So, um, there we go. So that's all set and ready to go. Let me look at my races again to get a name for this guy. And we will be pretty much done. So he's going to talk to them. He's going to give them their assignment. Um, all right, so the Formians are in Alien Archive 3. I don't remember if, like the core rulebook does, if they have names in the Formians. So here's your Formians. Trying to show you the picture. There it is. I know my green screen. XSplit VCam, by the way. You can get it for free too. I'm using the paid version, but the free version just has a little XSplit VCam in the corner. That's it. I do not see any names in here. I also don't see that it's showing it as a playable race, which is weird because it is a playable race. Curious. Okay, so we'll figure out a name later. So it gives us somewhere to start. We have a map now for when they show up. We're going to take a look and see what they're doing. Okay, so the plan is he's going to tell them you arrived just in time. I was going to have to reschedule. I'm glad I didn't have to. Get to these coordinates within the next 30 minutes. You have bikes, there are transports available, and they're going to go and they're going to find these bikes. And there's going to be one truck with 2 things attached to it, and then these bikes. So let's see what kind of vehicles I have. Just out of curiosity, let's see, does it say? Transportation, there we go. So colossal creatures, nice. Grav train. But this is all creatures and a robo-taxi, sea vessel, starship passage, and a suborbital flight. So this is just all the cost of all these items. All right, so we'll worry about the rest of that stuff later. All right, so what's going to happen is I'm going to have a small little skirmish here. Thanks, helpful Robo. Yeah, I'm still ironing out the kinks of Nightbot Atomic. Like that, the one. It is pretty cool though. I like it so far. The last quote that it put out there. Thanks for hanging out with me. One only populates if there are a certain number of messages within the stream and once every 45 minutes. So um, typically once per stream right now at least. So anyway, I like how you're able to do those type of things. So it'll be cool. It's cool. So they're going to be told to go pick up the cargo from a train. They're going to be given coordinates. As they're loading up their vehicles and getting ready to go, this group's going to come in and say, hey, are you the ones going to pick up this gear, this cargo? When they say yes, they're going to open fire and shoot them. The characters aren't going to know what's going on. They're then going to either run away or get knocked out. The characters don't have time. They need to get out there right away. So they're not going to have time to sit there and interrogate people and do all this stuff. They have to get there. So I'm going to impress upon them that they have to get out there or they're going to lose their money and they're going to lose their reputation. So they're going to fight these people, then they're going to get out there and they're going to fight these other people who are at the cargo. Then they're gonna, as they start loading stuff up, they're going to have a second group come out and say, hey, we're here to relieve you. You've been recalled. Go back to headquarters right away. We're going to take it from here. The forming workers are going to contact them as well and tell them the same information. And so then they're going to head back and leave. They may or may not figure out they are actually the ones stealing this cargo. They're helping the robbery because that's who paid Midnight Core. The concept is they're just going to be told, do this, do it quick in order to earn your money, and then get out. And so there's not going to be time to think or ask a lot of questions. And they may not ever even realize that there was a thing. I think what I'm going to have them do then is as they're leaving the planet, flying away, one of them will happen to catch a little news blurb from Akaton saying, hey, this transport was robbed and captured in a daring attack in the middle of the day. So that's the plan. We will see how that plays out. So I'm going to make a little note to myself to make sure to impress on the group that there is no time to waste. They are going to have to travel quickly and directly to their destination if they want to get paid. All right. So now the people who are going to open fire on them, be wary when accepting jobs from Craigslist. That's right. Yes. So Midnight Core is who their boss is, who their company is. Um, but Midnight Core is simply if you want something done and you don't want to do it yourself, you pay Midnight Core, and it can be anything from a maid service to food delivery to if you need escorts to both social escorts like a date to protection security details uh, to the opposite extreme of assassinations to cleaning up crime scenes. I mean, there's pretty much anything that you don't want to do. Midnight Corps will do it if you pay them. There have been times where opposite sides of a situation will be paying Midnight Corps. Um, like that Cupcake and Dino show on Netflix. I haven't seen it, so it's over my head. The Atomic, sorry. Anyway, in this case, they are definitely the bad guys, if there is such a thing, in a futuristic space society. Um, and actually, there definitely is. But in this case, we're going to see who's going to go up against them. Let's see. We want some Acme bad guys. Just some Acme people. We're going to go with challenge rating of 1. So our other encounter had a challenge building of about 800. All right, so we want about a little less than that. It's an adorable cartoon show. Would recommend. What's it called though? Is it called Cupcake and Dino? Shimreen. There we go. Avoids hobby. Let's see. Aha, Spathinae Guard. What is that? Spathinae are insect species occupying worlds. Okay. Where's the pictures? Let's see if for some reason it's not linked. There we go. Well, those creepy looking guys. Nice. Okay, so we're going to have a couple Spathinae here. Oh, it would help if you open up, unlock it. There we go. Boom. So we're building an encounter. We've got 2 Spathinae guards. A Jinsoul Warrior. What is that? Jinsoul Trooper. Oh, there we go. Awesome. See, so if you see these things coming towards you, you would definitely think these are bad guys because you're racist. All right, so there we go. What are we looking at now? 1200. Oh, I didn't realize it was that they were that high. Okay, so let's go with One of each. That should be 800. All right, so here's our group. We're going to put the links to the pictures here. We have our encounter already, so now we just need to find a map for where this encounter is going to take place. Cupcake and Dino. Yep, they run a general service business. Okay, cool. All right, I wonder why Nightbot did that again. I thought it was only supposed to be every 45 minutes. I'll have to check that out after the stream and see why I did it twice. All right, moving on. Cupcake and Dino. All right, I'll check it out. I'll see what's going on with that. We need a map. So we go to images and let's try port. All right, nothing here. Let's just go space and see how crazy this is going to be. Okay, so let's try our regular images. We will get rid of the filter. Space map pack. We have our armory, core rulebook, Starfinder tables. Okay, I thought I had some other ones, but let's see if we can go back to this one. That's player resources. I don't want player resources. I want why does it say players resources? I don't want player resources. I want the regular ones. All right, let's try it again. I'm going to go here to our library, go to our modules. Okay, so this is player resources. I don't care about player resources. I want their actual module itself. So we will go to Dead Suns, Part 1. Here we go. Boom, we'll load this. Looking at the other map packs I have here. Galactic Cruisers. Let's check this one out and see. The Commencement, I think, might have a couple good maps too. We'll load those two as well. So let's go to here it is. It's another way to do it right here. Just look here. Oh, that's not what I thought it was. Okay, so let's see. I don't know what any of these things are. Let's see. Okay. flight deck. Okay, so it's an actual ship deck. These are all parts of a ship. Slums. Generic sci-fi rooms. Very cool, very cool. Can easily hack that apart. All right, so this one doesn't have what I'm looking for. Let's go to Dead Sons Part 1. Again, with the player's resources. I don't want player resources. I want the actual... Let's see what's here. Images. Map. Go. Oh, that's outdoor bridge map. Yep. Not quite abandoned warehouse. This might be good. I might use that one. And nope, I don't want that one. All right, so coming up empty so far. Let's try. Here it is. No, that's Dawn of Flame. I want the Dead Sons. Thank you. Images. Caught in a Crossfire is the one I was thinking of. What else is there? The Drift Rock, Sunrise Maiden, Fusion Queen. Yeah, so I think I'll get Caught in a Crossfire. I will use that one because it's Cargo Bay 94, or not Cargo Bay, but Docking Bay 94, which those geeks out there, that is where Han Solo was told to meet Luke Skywalker, and that's where where he told Luke Skywalker to meet him, Docking Bay 94, on Tatooine. Ian Moss Eisley. Go to the grid, turn it down. But what I can do is I can just chop it in half. I can even flip it. Flip it vertically. There we go. Because this is Unity, baby. We can do this. All right, and then I'm going to do line of sight. Look at all those points of sight. That's crazy, man. Whatever. Okay. Again with all those. Jeez Louise. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a line. And just come straight on down. So when you put the line of sight back on, they'll only be able to see the side they're on, which is this side. And we'll put all right, so we'll close this all off. So now I've picked my map. I'm not going to mess with it anymore. I'm pretty happy with this setup. So it's going to look like this. Let me get rid of the, go to play mode. So it's chopped like this. That's where they're going to be. They're going to be walking, getting ready to get their ships. I think I have some ships, don't I? Let's see. Go to tokens. See if I can find any kind of ship. Let's just see ship. I could also search the Google. All right, so I have some boats. It's called a Terminator slingshot, huh? Do we have an actual picture? Let's see. Sling. There it is. Perfect. That's exactly what I wanted. All right, so it's just a big cargo ship. So we're going to put the link to the picture right there. Boom. All right, and then is there any kind of bike? Let's see. Let's go to all and just go bike. I don't think there's going to be any kind of speeder or treadmill, but just boots of speed. Okay. I could search the Google, and I might do that later to find a couple bikes. It's not really that important. I just want trying to set the scene. So here's our encounter. We're going to throw in our warriors. They're going to be coming from here. Oops, wrong one. So you want to, when you populate an encounter, you want to grab it from down here where it says placement, shockingly enough. I like throwing out the links. I'm going to make this shareable so if they want to see the picture of it. So I'm going to throw this link here, boom, because that's where the actual Midnight Welcome thing. This is from the original AP. All right, so there we go. We're good. We're ready to rock. Oh, wait a minute. This is on the wrong side of the map. There we go. Here's the link. I'm going to go ahead and put a mask on. Enable the mask. Let's reveal area. We're just going to reveal this whole area here where the line of sight is. So that way I will remember. So when we go to our playable mode, if we go to our combat tracker, what they will actually see how do I not have a token for this guy, man? Come on, stop it. See, so they don't see beyond this 9 right here. That's a wall. Okay, didn't realize those were walls. All right, there's lots of stuff to hide behind, lots of things to get into, get on, so it makes it nice. All right, last thing I need to do is make sure I have, so we're gonna change this. This is the hangar. Make it unID'd and go here. All right, so we're ready to go. We have our map, we have our encounter set. Turn off line of sight so we can see, kill this. Let's go to VTT, speeder, bike, token again. Oh, they do exist. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Let's go with one that's not quite as trademark. Let's take a look at this one. There we go. That works. Save it as. I'm going to make it one of my forever tokens. So I go to SmiteWorks, tokens, speeder. And actually, what I'm going to do, I just realized I saved that as a JPEG. So we go here to our Pixlr, pixlr.com, which is free. Go to in tokens. Go to the speeder. Open. Click on the wand. Click. And say delete. 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 I don't care as much about the grid there, the white grid. They can make it whatever they think they want it to be. There we go. All right, so now we have our speeder. File, save. This time it is a ping. Download. We are in Fantasy Grounds tokens. Perfect. Save. Poof. So now we go here to our assets. We take our refresh them, and now we have our speeders. So we're going to throw a speeder here. Oops, wrong one. Delete, delete. All right, so we have a bunch of speeders around. They have been requisitioned for 2 and the ship. Okay. All right, so we're set. We're done. We're ready to go. We've got everything. They can zoom in and see the speeder. Awesome. So hey, I'm going to call it. I'm really satisfied. I think this is going to be a nice little encounter. We've got some good stuff. I've got stuff probably for the next 3 nights. We only play for 2.5 hours, so they're going to do the space asteroid guy. Then they're going to be going to midnight, where we just did the map today. They're going to run into these, talk to the guy, the foreman in the office, and then they're going to run into these guys in the hangar we were just at. They're going to go out, and they're going to have the fight out in the middle of the desert too. So we are set. We are ready to go. I think we've got some good stories. If you want to see how it plays out, watch it. 5:30 on Sunday nights. You see the schedule down below. Don't forget to like and subscribe. If you go to my YouTube channel there, you can see how all this plays out, what has brought us to this point. You can also see a lot of other how-to videos for Fantasy Grounds, both D&D and Starfinder. Like, subscribe, follow, all that stuff. Thank you guys, Atomic Hero Squad, and Broken Mold Live, New to Passport, and JL Gaming TV. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today. Atomic, have a good one. Probably going to do one extra stream just to have one in the books in case things get crazy and busy later this afternoon. But thank you. Whatever else you do, enjoy the rest of your day.